A fresh look at actionable responses, security, and emergency management. It seems with unnerving frequency that we hear about terrible and horrific events occurring across the country, whether occurring in small rural communities or in our large urban areas. These events often result in loss of life and property. Yet many of us still have the perception that this can't happen to me, or this wouldn't happen here. However, when these incidents occur on our school sites, our reaction as individuals is heightened. Everyone experiences the feeling of helplessness. All of us will ask ourselves, why them? Why here? Whether it be a natural disaster, a fire, or an act of violence, we all must be prepared to protect the sanctity of our school campuses. In order to ensure the Hillsborough County Public School District is as prepared as possible, a retooling and fresh approach to mitigating a threat has been implemented. The safety of our students, staff, and visitors at all of our campuses and facilities is a top priority for the superintendent and board members of Hillsborough County Public Schools. This training will provide you with the appropriate response tactics for all of our sites, as well as to highlight and emphasize the use of new technology to manage your crisis management plans. In 2016-17, the Hillsborough County Public Schools Department of Security and Emergency Management revamped and redefined several essential platforms that address site safety. Number one, we transitioned from a paper-bound crisis management plan to an online assessment tool known as the Florida Safe School Assessment Tool, or FSSAT. Number two, we implemented a mass notification system known as ReadyOp. And number three, we developed the district's response to threat protocols known as the HCPS Site Threat Continuum. The revision and the subsequent elimination of the paper-bound crisis management plan was made possible by the Florida Department of Education's Office of Emergency Management when they sponsored and funded the development of the Florida Safe School Assessment Tool, FSSAT. This online platform allows each site to upload critical data about their campus's physical and safety features. To accomplish this transition, all site administrators had to identify and register their respective crisis management team members, CMT, in the mass notification ReadyOp system. This transitional process began September of 2016. Both of the platforms, FSSAT and ReadyOp, rely on each other's data to be effective. If the site administrator does not completely identify and populate their respective crisis management teams, or if the number of crisis management team members that receive the notification is limited due to a small number of registered team members in ReadyOp, then the response or effectiveness to a threat, weather condition, or event may be impacted. Each site administrator is encouraged to have as many CMT members registered on ReadyOp. So let's summarize what we've learned. The two large paper-bound crisis management plan binders have been replaced by using an online assessment tool known as FSSAT. Principals were provided with a crisis management plan worksheet and an email authorization to access the online platform. They populated the worksheet with a variety of data, including digital pictures, site features, maps, and the list of crisis management team members for their respective sites. This online platform should be used during the first week of school for faculty orientation. The worksheet can be printed and kept for reference if desired. ReadyOp sends out a variety of emergency alerts. The three primary alert groups are weather alerts, incident notification alerts, countywide, area-wide, or site-based, hurricane shelter alerts. The ReadyOp notification system is based on a roster that is different from the Safe School Assessment tool. This means that even though each site's crisis management team has been listed in the worksheet on the Safe School Assessment tool, those team members must also be registered separately in the ReadyOp system. The more members of the crisis management team and staff that are registered in ReadyOp, the more people that will get notified of a potential threat. For example, if School A is in a lockdown, and this school is in Area 5, an alert may go out to all Area 5 schools notifying them of School A's status. If a tornado is forecasted to hit northwest Hillsborough County, a weather alert for Area 2 and possibly Area 3 will be sent via ReadyOp to those identified in the ReadyOp roster. Now that we have who and how they will get notified, the manner in which a site responds has to be clarified. The newly revised threat protocols are based on the principle of a continuum. This threat continuum recognizes that the event or threat you may be faced with is a fluid or dynamic situation that may cause our response to de-escalate or to escalate. These decisions are done in real time and discards the notion that one size fits all when confronted with a threat on your site. The objective is to provide clear and specific terminology to dynamic situations that threaten the well-being and safety of our school sites, students, and staff. These protocols coincide with the actionable tactics and strategies to mitigate and address a variety of situations that our site administrators may be confronted with. The responses for the new HCPS Site Threat Continuum are access control, monitored access control, lock-in, lock-out, lock-down, shelter in place, evacuation, reverse evacuation, reunification, medical emergency. In order to educate not just employees of HCPS, but families and stakeholders as well, the Site Threat Continuum will be delivered for two distinct audiences. Some of the information provided is protected by state statutes and will not be released to the general public. However, educating our parents, our families, and our community to our response to a threat is a critical and essential element of the new Site Threat Continuum. A general public view with 4 protocols and their definitions will be publicized to our parents and the community. These are designed to keep our community informed with accurate strategies and accurate reporting. The complete HCPS Site Threat Continuum with all responses will be made available on the newly revised emergency checklists, principal packages, new hire onboarding, posters, and annual site safety orientation. We've also collaborated with public safety and emergency management departments in Hillsborough County and delivered the same Site Threat Continuum terminology to these stakeholders. This is a paradigm shift that will require everyone to become familiar with this terminology. As you can see by this slide, the general public will be provided with the 4 most frequent threat responses that a site may implement based on the nature of the crisis. The objective is to provide our families and the public with response expectations when dealing with these types of events. These responses will be defined later in this module and are shelter in place, lock in, lock out, lock down. Not available for public view is access control, monitored access control, evacuation, reverse evacuation, reunification, medical emergency. We'll define each of these protocols in the following slides. Access control. The baseline for all successful actions as it pertains to campus safety must begin with a standard protocol of controlling or managing your campus. This basic tenet is access control. Access control directs any visitors to a limited number of entry points on the campus through a variety of ways: locked gates, main gate entrance, door locks, etc. Currently, access control includes: number 1, all access points should be secured at the first bell. Number 2, all visitors need to sign in and out. This includes maintenance workers, contractors, and deliveries that will be on campus for a period of time. Number 3, mandatory name tag or district ID. Number 4, all visitors should be funneled into one entry point during school hours. And number 5, visitors should have a legitimate business on your campus. Monitored access control. The next level of security on the HCPS site threat continuum is monitored access control. This is a response to a vague, unsubstantiated, non-specific threat that may impact the safety of the campus. It requires site administrators to be more vigilant at the access points of their campuses, to include assigning someone to these access points. Currently, monitored access control consists of: number 1, notify law enforcement on campus or security. If not, call HCPS Security Communications Center at 813-840-7222. Number 2, all visitors should be funneled to one secured entry point. Number 3, all access points should be monitored and secured. Number 4, all staff should keep a vigilant awareness and report any suspicious activity immediately. Number 5, all visitors need to sign in and out. This includes maintenance workers, contractors, and deliveries that will be on campus for a period of time. Number 6, mandatory name tag or district ID. Number 7, visitors should have a legitimate business on your campus. And number 8, wait for all clear notification. Lock in. Moving up to the next response on the HCPS site threat continuum is lock in. This protocol addresses crisis situations not actually on our sites, but in the immediate vicinity. These off-campus situations may include law enforcement or public safety activities that do not pose an immediate threat to students or staff, but could eventually affect the campus well-being if the activities get closer to the campus. The objective is to lock your students, staff, and visitors in to the campus and take a cautionary approach to this threat. Lock-in consists of: number 1, all access points should be secured and monitored. Number 2, all visitors and vendors should be directed into a minimum number of one of the entry points. Number 3, mandatory name tag or district ID. Number 4, staff should be vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Number 5, lock classroom doors. Number 6, close and secure windows and blinds. Number 7, account for all present in the classroom. Number 8, continue with class instruction. Number 9, faculty and staff are expected to monitor student movement outside of the classroom, for example, change of class, and all movement should be limited depending on the situation. Number 10, the buddy system. Number 11, adult supervision. Depending on situation and proximity to campus, consider suspending outside activity. And number 12, wait for all clear notification. Lock out. This protocol addresses crisis and emergency situations that may pose an immediate threat, non-active, to students or staff. It may also be the protocol that a site de-escalates to from a full lockdown. The threat of a weapon may require a lockout response until that threat is addressed. The objective is to lock everyone out from your campus or site and strictly control the movements on your site. The lockout consists of, number 1, lock classroom doors. Number 2, close and secure windows and blinds. Number 3, account for all present in the classroom. Number 4, be prepared for contingencies, evacuation, lockdown, bathroom break, special needs, and medical issues. Number 5, no movement in the hallways, common areas, or outside. Number 6, no one leaves the classroom. 7, no change of class. Hold the bell schedule. Number 8, no outside activities. Number 9, all access points should be secured and monitored. Number 10, staff should be vigilant and report any suspicious activity. Number 11, keep everyone calm and quiet. Number 12, wait for all clear. Lock down. The highest and most restrictive response to a crisis, threat, or emergency on your campus is a lockdown. This occurs when a present or imminent danger threatens your site. The objective is to lock your site down to ensure the immediate security of your students, staff, and visitors. An active shooter on your campus or the commission of a violent crime on or in the immediate vicinity of your campus would be lockdown situations. A lockdown may be a response to a threat initially received on your site, but after triaging the threat, a de-escalation to lock out or lock in may be appropriate. Lockdown consists of 1. Cease classroom instruction. 2. All doors and windows should be locked. 3. Blinds down and lights off. 4. Keep everyone away from windows and doors. 5. Keep everyone calm and quiet. 6. Room should appear vacant. 7. Wait for emergency responders or announcement. 8. Safe room notice. 9. No movement. 10. No one leaves the classroom. 11. No change of class. Hold the bell schedule. 12. No outside activities. 13. mobile devices on silent. And 14, call 911. Shelter in place. This protocol addresses a variety of emergency events, such as severe weather events, smoke, and other environmental situations impacting your campus. The objective is to locate a safe place in your building to mitigate the emergency condition you are encountering. An example may be to use a hallway for severe tornadic weather. Factors to consider during shelter in place. 1. Turn off change of class bells. 2. Contact contiguous schools, public and private. 3. Close as many internal doors as possible. 4. Use predetermined shelter rooms. 5. If necessary, seal windows and vents with duct tape and plastic sheeting. 6. Assemble site crisis management team. 7. Secure all doors, similar to lockdown and lockout. 8. Locate all students, staff, and visitors inside rooms. 9. Shut down all air handlers if necessary. 10. Make notifications of your status. 11. Never use the fire alarm. 12. Seal exterior doors on the inside on 3 sides with duct tape and place a rolled wet towel at the bottom in older buildings. 13. Minimize use of elevators. 14. If vapors begin to bother someone, have them place a cloth over their mouth and nose. And 15. Wait for emergency personnel to declare the all clear. Evacuation. The use of an evacuation as a response to a crisis or threat should not be understated. This response can be the first actionable response in a crisis situation, or it can come after other responses have been deployed. Evacuation is the movement of staff, students, and visitors away from the threat to a safe area. Evacuation protocols. Number 1. Ensure the area you are evacuating is safe. 2. Student and faculty accountability. 3. Pre-plan an evacuation area. 4. Consider transportation needs if evacuating to an alternate site. CMP. 5. Depending on the incident, outside activity may evacuate to an alternate off-campus location. 6. Wait for emergency personnel to declare the all clear. Reunification, reverse evacuation. These responses emphasize student and faculty accountability and usually indicate the first effort to regain the normal function and operation of your site. Reunification means the safe accounting for students, staff, or visitors after or during a crisis. Reverse evacuation is the movement of staff, students, and visitors back to where they were located prior to the crisis or emergency. These actions consist of 1. Have everyone return to classroom, building, or area. 2. Account for all students and staff. 3. Depending on the incident, outside activity may be suspended. 4. Depending on the incident, outside activity may evacuate to an alternate off-campus location for reunification. And 5. Outlined in the Crisis Management Plan. Medical emergency. Number 1. Immediately activate 911 with available cellular phone or contact immediate supervisor or office personnel to activate 911. Confirm the location of the incident. Number 2, notify school security, SRD or SRO if assigned. Number 3, notify health staff if on site. And number 4, request that an adult assist with student management. The HCPS Site Threat Continuum and technology platforms are part of the emergency response by HCPS Security and Emergency Management Division, as well as our public safety partners. In large, protracted events like a gas leak, an active shooter situation, or a lockout where a campus is on full metal detection operation, certain duties and responsibilities need to be clearly defined and implemented from a single command post. Some of the duties include restroom escort, lunch distribution, student monitoring, parent-student reunification, special needs medical needs, evacuation, and transportation. Pre-planning and preparation is the best way to ensure that in an emergency, you can quickly activate and address situations that will be impacted by a threat. This is why the designation of the crisis management team members is critical. Based on the type of threat and the deployment of the appropriate response, you can be assured that the resources are going to be provided. Our goal is to keep everyone safe and return to normal operations as quickly as possible. Some of the questions to answer as part of your preparation include: how will you address students with special needs? Do you conduct robust emergency training and orientation or exercises? Are your master keys made and available? Are your campus radio batteries charged and operational? Do you have copies of site maps? Does your bullhorn have batteries? Do you have a basic first aid kit? Have you identified members of your crisis management teams? All faculty and staff cellular numbers available and listed on Safe School Assessment Tool and ReadyOps. Do you have a hard copy of your crisis management plan, FS SAT worksheet? Do you have an emergency vest for CMT identification, which is coming in 2017? Do you have assigned personnel with access to student records for reunification and release? The response from HCPS Security and Emergency Management, as well as law enforcement, is quite different. Our public safety partners will deal primarily with eliminating the threat and in some cases be an investigative function. HCPS Security and Emergency Management personnel will assist in those functions and provide administrative support. Listed are some areas of responsibilities for both of these groups. The well-being and safety of our school sites, students, and staff has always been a priority at HCPS. The revision and implementation of the HCPS Site Threat Continuum and the associated technology of the ReadyOp and the online crisis management plan in the Florida Safe School Assessment Tool are the foundation to keeping your campus and site safe. Communicating and embracing these new shifts from the previous security paradigms is essential to how well we can respond to a particular threat or condition at your site.